You keep chasing women who don't even want you. That is the brutal truth that most men never want to face. Deep down, you sense it. You feel the coldness, the lack of energy, the indifference. Yet you ignore it. You convince yourself she just needs time. You tell yourself she's busy, stressed, or distracted. You build excuses in your mind because facing reality feels too painful. But the more you lie to yourself, the more of your life you waste on someone who has already made up her mind about you. Every second you invest in the wrong woman is a second stolen from the right one. And if you can't recognize when she's not into you, you'll keep playing the fool, chasing someone who will never be yours, begging for scraps of her attention while she gives her best to someone else. The first thing you must understand is this. Interest cannot be manufactured. It cannot be forced. It cannot be argued into existence. If she doesn't feel it, she doesn't feel it. That spark you're trying to build by texting more, calling more, giving more, it's only draining your dignity. A woman's heart doesn't open because you tried harder. It opens because she wants it to. And if she doesn't want it to, no amount of effort will change her mind. That's the hard pill most men refuse to swallow. They think persistence will make her see their value. But persistence in the wrong direction only makes you look desperate. You need to ask yourself one question. Why are you fighting so hard for someone who isn't fighting for you? Why are you willing to hand over your time, your emotions, your energy to a woman who gives you nothing in return? The truth is simple. You're afraid of letting go. You think if you stop chasing, you lose your chance forever. But the irony is this. You never had a real chance to begin with. Because when a woman is truly interested, you don't have to chase. She meets you halfway. She invests. She makes it known. Here's a shocking truth most men never accept. If she wanted you, you would know it. There would be no doubt. There would be no confusion. She wouldn't forget to reply to your messages. She wouldn't keep postponing plans. She wouldn't act like you're invisible. Interest is clear. Interest is loud. Interest is undeniable. If you have to constantly wonder, does she like me? Is she interested? The answer is already no. And here's another harsh realization. You're not just wasting your time on her. You're sabotaging yourself. Every hour spent chasing a woman who doesn't care is an hour you could have spent building yourself, improving your life, or connecting with someone who actually values you. You think you're being loyal by holding on to her, but what you're really being is afraid. Afraid to walk away, afraid to demand better, afraid to accept that she doesn't want you. And that fear keeps you stuck in a cycle of weakness. The shift you need is simple but powerful. Stop begging for interest. Start observing actions. Stop listening to excuses. Start paying attention to patterns. If she wanted you, she would show it. If she doesn't, then every word, every excuse, every half-hearted interaction is just noise. The truth is always in her actions. And your job is not to twist those actions into hope. It's to see them for what they are. So let this sink in. The next time you catch yourself clinging to someone who shows no effort, remind yourself that attraction cannot be created by force. Remind yourself that every ounce of energy spent chasing her is energy stolen from the man you could become and the woman who would actually want you. You deserve someone who makes you feel wanted without question. You deserve someone who invests in you as much as you invest in them. But you'll never meet that person if you keep burning yourself out on someone who doesn't care. The truth hurts, but it's supposed to. Because only pain strong enough to wake you up can shake you out of your delusion. Stop playing games with yourself. Stop making excuses for her. Stop believing that effort alone can create attraction. It can't. The only way forward is to see reality as it is, not as you wish it to be. If she's not interested, it's not your loss. It's your liberation. When a woman is not interested, her actions scream louder than her words. You don't need her to spell it out for you because she already has through the way she treats you. The first and clearest sign is that her effort is non-existent. You are the one always reaching out. You are the one always starting the conversations, planning the meetups, trying to hold things together. It's a one-way street where you are pouring all the energy and she is giving nothing back. That is not love. That is not interest. That is not care. It is disinterest wrapped in silence. And yet too many men ignore this. They convince themselves she's just shy, just distracted, just going through a phase. But the truth is, nobody is ever too busy to make time for someone they want. When a woman is truly drawn to you, she doesn't sit back and wait for you to do everything. She finds reasons to connect. She creates opportunities to see you. She reaches out even when there's no reason to. If you're the only one who seems invested, then you need to stop lying to yourself. Effort is not optional in attraction. Effort is proof. And if you're not getting that proof, it's because she doesn't care to give it. The biggest trap men fall into is mistaking her lack of initiative for a challenge. They start thinking, if I just try harder, she'll finally open up. If I keep showing her I care, she'll see my worth. But what really happens is the opposite. The harder you chase, the more she pulls away. Why? Because deep down she knows she doesn't have to do anything. She knows you'll keep carrying the weight. She knows you'll keep showing up even when she doesn't. That is not attraction, it's dependency. And dependency will destroy your self-respect faster than rejection ever could. Here's a harsh truth you need to absorb. Women don't forget to text men they're truly excited about. They don't cancel on men they actually want to see. They don't ignore the ones they desire. If you're sitting there analyzing why she's so distant, why she takes hours or days to respond, why she always seems unavailable, the answer is simple. She's not into you. You're not her priority. You're her option, her backup, her just in case. And if you accept that role, you've already lost. Another harsh reality, the more you excuse her lack of effort, the more you train yourself to tolerate being undervalued. You normalize neglect. You normalize chasing. You normalize being the one who cares more. That becomes your standard. And then you wonder why you keep attracting the wrong women. But the truth is, you're not attracting them. You're tolerating them. And what you tolerate defines what you get. The shift you need is this. Stop measuring interest by words. Start measuring it by effort. If she says she's into you but never shows it, she's lying. If she promises she'll make time but never does, she's stringing you along. If she tells you she cares but doesn't act like it, her words are worthless. Effort is the only currency that counts. If she's not spending it on you, then you don't matter to her the way you wish you did. Think about this carefully. Why would you continue to invest in someone who invests nothing in you? Why would you accept the role of begging for attention when you could demand reciprocity? You deserve a woman who shows up for you. You deserve a woman who matches your energy. You deserve someone who makes you feel wanted without having to pull it out of them. Anything less is not love, it's disrespect. So here's the challenge you must embrace. The next time you notice you're the only one doing the work, stop. Don't send the next text. Don't make the next plan. Don't force the next conversation. Let silence speak. Let absence reveal the truth. If she cares, she'll step up. If she doesn't, she'll let it fade. And that's your answer. No more excuses, no more denial, no more wasting time on a woman who can't even bother to put in the smallest effort. If her actions show nothing, then believe them. The second thing you'll notice when a woman is not interested is her energy. It's flat, cold, and lifeless. You might be bringing passion, humor, and excitement into every interaction, but in return, all you get are one-word replies, half-hearted nods, and empty stares. You're on fire, but she's ice. And here's the uncomfortable truth. She's not tired, she's not distracted, she's not just not good at texting, she's simply not interested in you. Energy doesn't lie. If her vibe doesn't match yours, it's because she doesn't feel the same way. Too many men waste months, sometimes years, trying to interpret coldness as something else. They tell themselves she's just busy, she's just stressed, she's just dealing with things right now. They hold on to the fantasy that if they just wait it out, she'll eventually warm up. But women who are truly drawn to you don't make you wait for their energy. They don't act lukewarm and expect you to chase harder. They show up with excitement. They lean in. They want to connect. If she's treating you like an afterthought now, she's not going to suddenly transform into someone who burns with desire for you later. Here's a harsh truth. Interest is not subtle. Attraction is not passive. When a woman feels it, it's undeniable. Her eyes light up. Her words flow with curiosity. Her presence feels alive. Compare that to the woman who gives you dry answers and looks at her phone more than she looks at you. You can't fake that contrast. You can't force it. You can't earn it by giving more of yourself. If she's not giving you warmth, it's because she doesn't want to, and the longer you ignore that, the more you lower your own value. This is where many men get trapped. They confuse indifference with mystery. They think, she's just playing hard to get. But let's crush that delusion. Real attraction doesn't need to be played like a game. If she's truly into you, she doesn't act bored, she doesn't act distant, she doesn't act like talking to you is a chore. Playing hard to get is very different from being completely uninterested. If her energy feels cold and forced, she's not being mysterious, she's being honest without having to say a word. Here's another realization that stings. When she gives you nothing and you still keep chasing, you're showing her that her bare minimum is enough to keep you around. And that's exactly why she keeps giving it. She doesn't need to invest more because you've already proven you'll accept less. You've told her through your actions, it's fine if you don't care. I'll keep trying anyway. And nothing kills attraction faster than a man who tolerates indifference. So how do you handle it? By flipping the script. Stop rewarding her coldness with more attention. Stop pouring your energy into someone who can't even match your vibe. When her energy is dead, don't try to revive it. Step back, withdraw yours. Let her feel the emptiness of her own disinterest. If she truly wants you, she'll notice the shift and meet you with renewed energy. If she doesn't, she'll let the silence stay. Either way, you get your answer without begging. You need to accept that no amount of passion on your side can create passion on hers. No amount of chasing, entertaining, or proving yourself will make her suddenly care. Attraction doesn't grow from pressure, it grows from connection. And if that connection isn't there from the start, then all the energy in the world won't create it. What you have to realize is this: her coldness isn't a challenge to overcome, it's a message to accept. The shift you need is brutal but necessary. Stop trying to read between the lines of her lifeless responses. Stop overanalyzing her mood. Stop excusing her lack of energy as anything other than what it is. If she's excited about you, she'll show it. If she's not, you'll feel it. The difference is black and white. It's time you stop pretending it's grey. So the next time you find yourself pouring excitement into a conversation that feels dead, recognize it for what it is: a sign, a warning, a truth. Her energy tells you everything you need to know. Don't fight it, don't chase it, don't deny it, accept it, and walk away with your self-respect intact. Because the man who respects his own energy will never waste it on someone who doesn't value it. The third sign of disinterest is avoidance, and this one cuts deeper than most men are willing to admit. When a woman wants to be with you, she makes space for you. She clears her schedule, she finds time, she looks forward to seeing you. But when she doesn't, every excuse in the book suddenly appears. Plans get cancelled, meetings get pushed back, texts about someday replace real commitment. And here's the reality you keep dodging: someday means never. If she wanted to see you, she would. If she doesn't, she won't. It's that simple. Men who fail to recognize this trap end up stuck in a cycle of false hope. They cling to the excuse she gave, replaying it in their minds as if it has meaning. She's just busy right now. She's under pressure at work. She has so much going on. But understand this: busy women make time for the men they truly want. They don't reschedule endlessly. They don't vanish without explanation. They don't avoid opportunities to be close. They create them. The difference is night and day, but you blind yourself to it because the truth hurts too much. Here's a painful realization. When she keeps dodging time with you, it's not that her life is too full. It's that her interest in you is too empty. Excuses are just a polite cover for rejection. And the more you accept them, the more you reinforce the fact that you're willing to settle for breadcrumbs. You think you're being understanding, but what you're really being is naive. You're letting her set the rules of engagement while you quietly accept that you're not a priority. Another harsh truth: avoidance is one of the clearest signals that you're nothing more than an option. She keeps you around just enough so you don't disappear, but not enough to ever fully let you in. You're the backup plan. You're the placeholder. You're the one she knows will always be there when everything else falls through. That's not interest, that's convenience. And if you're comfortable being someone's convenience, don't be surprised when you're replaced the moment something better comes along. Here's where men destroy themselves. Instead of taking avoidance as rejection, they take it as a challenge. They think, if I just try harder, if I just give her more time, she'll eventually want me. But that's a lie. You don't win someone's interest by forcing yourself into their schedule. You only end up teaching them that they can keep pushing you off without consequence. Every cancelled plan you tolerate tells her that your time isn't valuable. Every vague excuse you accept tells her you'll keep waiting no matter how little she invests. The shift you need is simple but brutal. Start valuing your time more than her excuses. If she cancels once, fine. If she cancels again, pay attention. If she keeps pushing you off, walk away. Don't beg for reschedules. Don't plead for her availability. Don't cling to the word someday like it's a promise. It isn't, it's a dismissal. A woman who wants you will not hide behind excuses. She will not avoid you. She will not put you off indefinitely. She will find you. She will make it happen. Think about it. How many times have you been strung along by a vague promise that never materialized? How many weeks or months have you wasted waiting for her to finally be ready when the truth is she was never going to be? That's not patience. That's self-sabotage. You're not respecting her needs. You're ignoring your own. And every time you accept avoidance, you're signaling that your presence is worthless, that your time is disposable, that you'll always wait no matter how little she gives. So here's the cold slap of reality. Avoidance is rejection in disguise. Stop pretending it's something else. If she wanted you, you wouldn't need to chase her down. You wouldn't need to beg for her time. You wouldn't need to decode her excuses. She'd be there, clear, consistent, committed. Anything less is just her telling you, without saying a word, that she's not interested. The next time you hear "I'm just busy" or "let's do it another time," stop taking it as hope and start taking it as truth. Stop letting your desire blind you to reality. If she keeps avoiding you, let her. Don't fight it, don't chase it, don't try to fix it. Respect yourself enough to step back, because a man who values his own time doesn't sit around waiting for someone who clearly doesn't want to share theirs. The fourth thing she does when she is not interested is treat you like an option. And this is one of the most humiliating roles a man can accept without realizing it. You can feel it in your gut. You're not a priority, you're a backup plan. She doesn't think of you first. She thinks of you when nothing else is available. She doesn't call because she misses you. She calls because she's bored. She doesn't text you because she's excited to talk. She texts because no one else is giving her attention. You're not her man. You're her filler, her distraction, her safety net. And if you tolerate that, you've already surrendered your self-respect. This is the position too many men trap themselves in. They confuse being kept around with being valued. They convince themselves that as long as she hasn't cut them off completely, they still have a chance. But here's the brutal reality. Being kept around is not a sign of interest. It's a sign of convenience. She knows you'll always be there when she feels lonely. She knows you'll answer when she needs validation. She knows she can dip in and out of your life whenever it suits her. You're not important, you're accessible, and there's a massive difference. Think about how often you've rearranged your life to fit her schedule, how often you've dropped what you were doing just to be available, how often you've said yes when deep down you wanted to say no, or because you hoped that if you just showed her enough loyalty, she'd eventually give you the commitment you crave. But here's the harsh truth. Loyalty means nothing to a woman who doesn't see your value. It doesn't win her interest. It doesn't change her feelings. It only makes her realize she can treat you like an option and still keep you. The painful part is she doesn't even have to be cruel to do this. She doesn't have to insult you or openly reject you or push you away. In fact, she'll probably do the opposite. She'll keep giving you just enough attention to keep your hope alive. A text here, a compliment there, a breadcrumb of affection when she feels like it. It's never consistent, never enough, but it's just enough to keep you hooked. That's not love, that's manipulation. And the longer you accept it, the deeper you fall into the illusion that you matter to her. Here's a shocking truth. If she truly wanted you, she wouldn't risk making you feel like an option. She wouldn't gamble with your attention because she'd be afraid of losing it. The fact that she's so comfortable treating you this way is proof that she knows you won't leave. She knows you'll stay no matter how little she gives. And that's why she doesn't respect you. Respect doesn't come from what you give. It comes from what you refuse to tolerate. The shift you need is this. Stop accepting the role of backup. Stop mistaking convenience for care. Stop thinking that being available 24/7 makes you desirable. It doesn't. It makes you forgettable. A woman will never prioritize a man who doesn't prioritize himself. If you want her to value your presence, you need to show her that your time, your attention, your energy are not free. They are earned. And if she can't treat you like a priority, then she doesn't get to have access to you at all. Ask yourself a brutal question. Are you okay being her second choice? Are you okay being the man she leans on only when her first options disappear? Are you okay living off scraps of her attention while she gives the best of herself to someone else? Because if you're tolerating that right now, that's exactly the role you've chosen. And until you choose differently, nothing will change. So the next time you feel that sting of being treated like an option, don't fight harder for her attention. Don't beg for more. Don't try to prove you deserve priority. Show her through your actions that you're not available for half-hearted interest. Pull back. Walk away. Demand the respect you've been denying yourself, because the man who refuses to be an option will eventually be chosen by the woman who truly sees his worth. And here's the final slap of truth. If she treats you like an option, she's already answered the question you've been too afraid to ask. She's not interested. She doesn't value you. She's just keeping you around because you let her. And the moment you decide you won't settle for that anymore is the moment you reclaim your power. Stop being her backup plan. Stop being her distraction. Stop being the man she calls when it's convenient. Either you're a priority or you're gone. There is no middle ground. The fifth sign is hidden in her words, in the way she talks about her life, and most men don't even catch it because they're too busy holding on to false hope. Pay attention. When a woman is not interested in you, she constantly brings up other men. She talks about co-workers, friends, exes, or some guy she knows with casual ease. She'll drop names, mention stories, or highlight interactions that subtly remind you that her attention is elsewhere. You're sitting there hoping she'll speak life into your connection, but instead, she keeps planting seeds that show you're not the one on her mind. And no, she's not just being open or just making conversation, she's signaling. She's showing you where her focus really is. Here's the brutal truth. If you were the man she truly wanted, she wouldn't be constantly feeding you the presence of other men in her world. Because when a woman is genuinely drawn to you, her words center around you. Her attention orbits your presence. Her excitement flows toward your life, not away from it. But when you're just a placeholder, she makes sure you know you're not the only one. She won't say it directly, but she'll remind you that you're not her priority by always inserting someone else into the picture. Too many men ignore this because they're desperate to keep believing. They tell themselves, she's just friendly, she's just social, she's just open. They rationalize her behavior instead of facing what it really means. But here's the slap of reality. You're not competing with these men, you're already losing to them. Because the moment a woman starts filling her conversations with stories about other men, she's showing you that her emotional focus isn't on you. And if you think you can win her back by tolerating it, you're only teaching her that she can disrespect you without consequence. Another harsh realization. You're not being understanding by letting her talk endlessly about other men. You're being spineless. You're showing her that you're okay with being on the sidelines, that you were willing to sit quietly while she parades her interest elsewhere. And do you know what happens when you accept that? She loses even more respect for you, because no woman is truly attracted to a man who tolerates being disrespected. A woman who respects you will never put you in that position. A woman who doesn't will gladly keep you there because she knows you won't walk away. The shift you need is brutal but simple. Pay attention to where her words point. Words reveal focus, and focus reveals interest. If she's genuinely drawn to you, her language will reflect it. She'll be curious about your life, invested in your story, eager to connect with your world. If instead she keeps bringing up other men, she's showing you she doesn't view you as her central figure. And if she doesn't view you that way now, she won't suddenly start later. Interest doesn't work that way. Think carefully. How many times have you sat there listening to a woman talk about some other guy while you smiled and nodded, pretending it didn't bother you? How many times have you told yourself it was harmless, while deep down you knew it was eating away at you? That discomfort you feel is your gut telling you the truth. You're not the one she truly wants. And the more you suppress it, the more you betray yourself. Here's another ugly truth. When she keeps bringing up other men, she's not just showing you her lack of interest, she's testing your boundaries. She's seeing how much you'll tolerate. She's gauging how far she can push before you finally stand up for yourself. And if you never do, she'll lose every ounce of attraction she might have had left. Because women don't admire men who accept crumbs. They admire men who demand respect without having to raise their voice. So what's the mindset shift? Stop being afraid to walk when her words reveal her disinterest. Don't try to prove you're better than the other men she mentions. Don't try to outshine them by giving her more attention, more effort, more validation. That doesn't win her. It only convinces her you're desperate. The real move is simple. Recognize the disrespect and cut it off. Show her that you don't compete for space in a woman's mind. You either have her focus or you're gone.